your heart out, Elon. Hey everyone, Templar74 here with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today's Yu-Gi-Oh video is going to be my review of the latest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's episode 51, Road vs. Daor. And I gotta be honest with you guys, this episode was a really nice way to end a season finale. This episode just left us in suspense and going WTF at the very end, but we'll talk about all that soon enough. So at risk of further rambling though, let's move on to the actual episode. So the episode begins here with the opening of the final match of the Rush Duel Battle Royale tournament here. It's Luke versus Yuga, and these two have a very interesting moment here where Rook's basically telling Yuga, don't throw this on purpose in the name of our friendship, let's do this with everything we got, and Yuga agrees, and it's a really touching moment here. And it's funny because when the opening starts, or the tournament starts, Yuga draws and he bricks. What I mean by that, in bricks is a pretty common thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you draw and your opening hand is virtually useless to you. Sometimes a brick can be like all level 8 monsters in your first draw, or something like that, or all trap cards, or something that just prevents you from doing anything in your first turn. So one of the worst things you can do. However, fortunately for Yuga, he manages to draw Amazing Dealer and uses its effect to pay 300 life points to be able to draw 2 more cards and bring out SEVENS Road Magician. So he saved himself there. That was a lucky draw. And everybody's kind of like, if he hadn't have done that, he would have been sunk. And so now we go on to Rook, and Rook starts amazingly. He summons his 2 dragons here, and he's got Yuga cornered here. He destroys SEVENS Road Magician, and if he goes in for a direct attack, he wins the duel. However, Yuga manages to save himself with a new trap card, Surprise Barcode, and basically what this thing does is it allows him to reveal the top 7 cards of his deck, and if 5 of them are monsters, he ends up making battle damage 0. So these cards get revealed, and surprise, surprise, the 3 of the cards that are sitting there are his maximum cards. So now Rook is basically SOL because he can't inflict any battle damage, and thanks to this trap card, Yuga gets to put these cards that he just revealed in any order he chooses on the top of his deck. So you can kind of guess what he did. He ended up putting all 3 of his maximum monsters on the top, so next turn he's going to be able to summon his maximum monster, and Rook knows that he's in trouble here. But with nothing else he can do, he has to end his turn, and Yuga of course does what everybody expected him to do. Next turn he summons Vast Vulcan, and he uses Vast Vulcan's effects as well as 2 face down cards here to just deal more and more damage against Rook, and ultimately if he attacks with Vast Vulcan now, he wins the duel because he's weakened Rook's monsters, and Rook has taken so many direct life point damage that if Vast Vulcan attacks just one of his monsters and gets through, he loses. However, Rook saves himself here with a trap card, a new one called 7 Chance, and basically what it is it's a slot machine. All of a sudden Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's has gone to Vegas, but anyway, if he does this right, he reveals the top 3 cards of his deck. If he gets 2 level 7 monsters, he recovers 3,000 life points. If he gets 3 level 7 monsters, he's going to increase his life points even more. Now, Rook's deck, it's not going to be very hard for that to happen, to be honest with you. We all know that's coming, but ultimately he's only able to get 2 level 7 monsters. One of them is his new one that nobody's ever seen before, so that's interesting here. But anyway, 2 level 7 monsters, Rook recovers 3,000 life points. He's able to save himself. And just before that attack connects, the duel gets interrupted. I know, I hate it when this happens, but we see these monsters start fading out, the holograms fading out, the powers failing, and then this is where we get introduced to what's been going on behind the Rush Duel tournament. Basically, we've been through the whole episode, through this whole tournament, that Otis has been doing something behind the scenes, but they're not really sure what he's up to. But it turns out that somehow during the entirety of this tournament, the Goha server has been being hacked, And even though Mimi is panicking at this and she's ordering Gohada Corporation to shut it down, they can't because the hackers concealed itself too good, and Goha Corporation, these guys don't know where the dual server is to shut it down. And that's when Neil reveals something interesting, as well as our astronaut club friends here. And that is the Rush dual server, or the Goha dual server, isn't on Earth, it's on the moon. And it's protected in this trench, and it also has this monster, this Rush dual monster here on the moon. Well, I guess it's a Rush dual monster, but it looks a lot like Yuga's Road, his giant robot that we see in the opening here. But yeah, to protect the server, they put it on the dang moon. And that's why I said at the very beginning of this video in the intro, eat your heart out, Elon. He's trying so hard to get to Mars, and this company already has a moon base. He already has the corporate server on the moon. That's like, oh, come on. That's as awesome as it gets. But anyway, yeah, so the tournament gets interrupted. Everybody's panicking. They're like, well, what's going on? What's going on? And then we get the cut to Otis at the very end of the episode where he is uninstalling the Rush Duel program. And that's where the episode leaves off. So, yeah, like I said, this episode left me in suspense and going WTF at the very end because we all thought that Otis was on Yuga's side. Well, that's kind of been drawn into question now. I am very upset that this duel got interrupted, but I got to admit that I kind of enjoy the way they did it. And so, yeah, I'm kind of torn on this. The episode was great. I loved the episode, and I loved how they built this mystery up so far. But I really am irritated that they interrupted this duel, because, I mean, everybody was looking forward to this duel. But, yeah, so I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest with you. Overall, though, I give the episode an 8 out of 10. I think the only reason why this episode didn't rank higher for me is because this duel got interrupted. Ooh. But anyway, maybe that's just a personal thing aside. Overall, I really loved the episode, and maybe when I'm not as sour about this duel being interrupted, it'll rank higher. But right now, that's what I'm giving it. This episode was great, though, and it was a great way to cap off a season. I will also say that I am going to miss this particular opening that we got. This was the last episode with the first opening. And yeah, so there's a lot to look forward to in the next episode in the new season. But with that being said, everybody, those are my thoughts, and as always, I want to hear yours. So in the comment section down below, let me know what your guys' thoughts were about this week's episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was just there? What are your thoughts? Just let me know in the comment section down below, because as always, I enjoy hearing from you. Alright everyone, as always, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.